Oh man, it's the grab bag.
So, there is something going on that's pretty freaking ridiculous. And it involves big archaeology, billionaires, the WEF, and all these other things. So, first, I want to shout out Jimmy Corsetti of Bright Insight. If you haven't seen his channel, go watch it. But he was covering some of the information that was going on about how archaeologists are now reburying sites and stopping work on others so they can preserve it for future generations of archaeologists. Well, here's one of the issues. Gobekli Tepe. It is one of the largest sites in the world, and it's in Turkey, and it is something that dates back to the earliest point in human history that we know of. And it makes it look like it would completely upend our historical record because this giant site doesn't make a lot of sense being made by hunters and gatherers. Now, I just want to quickly go into my own personal experience with archaeology because when I was going to college, I started off at a 2 year school and I had switched majors. I had accumulated close to 150 credits uh, before I transferred to a 4 year school because I was at a 2 year school for 4 years and I went to a 4 year school for 2 years. So when I transferred into the 4 year school, I still had to pass a certain number of credits there in order to get my degree, and there weren't enough classes in my degree, so I had to pick out some electives. One of them happened to be this archaeology class. I thought it was awesome, and I was fascinated by this. I wanted to go and take this class. Well, the problem is that this teacher there, who was tenured, he liked to fail at least two kids in the class every semester because he got his rocks off or something. You know, archaeologist rocks off. And he picked me and another student out, claimed that we plagiarized stuff. Both of us got kicked out of the class, and I received a letter from the college itself telling me to ignore it. Yeah. So they let this professor continue to do this. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that was my first experience with archaeologists. He literally did something horrible. I was depressed. I was upset because of this. I don't even know how that girl handled it. I never saw her again. So it was ridiculous. And some people, this was going to be like their major. I almost wonder if I went to school with Flint Dibble. Oh my god. There was a kid in that class who looked just like Flint Dibble. So, anyways, getting back to the story, Gobekli Tepe, this gigantic archaeological site. There we go. It happens to be perhaps one of the most important sites in the world. And there happens to be this billionaire funding the excavation, or at least that's how it was a few years ago. And he had announced to the WEF that he was going to like dedicate the site to them, which is really weird. All right, why do you need to dedicate a site to the World Economic Forum? All right, if you want to talk about who might be the Illuminati IRL, you're looking at them. Anyways, he had been funding the excavation of this site and all of its absolutely insane stuff. And then all of a sudden, the work seemed to slow down around COVID time. And then it seems to have completely stopped. On top of that, they are planting trees in the site, which doesn't make a lot of sense because, roots go down if the LiDAR or radar that they've been using actually shows that this site goes far deeper than they think. These roots could possibly grow down and damage the site itself. To me, it sounds like they're trying to hide it, like not just bury it, but also have it grown over so people don't know about it. And that, to me, is complete BS. Why shouldn't we learn about our history? Why are we pausing? Why are we doing that? I mean, it'd be easier for us to set up simulated dig sites for archaeologists to train than it would be to rebury these places. And I've heard some people trying to argue about how it would be a good thing, and I'm like, I'm sorry, there's too many sites on Earth right now that still haven't been explored in its uh, full situation. Now they're like, oh, we're only going to excavate 5% of a site and then bury it back in. It's like, no, fully get it fully done. We need to know our history. We don't need to have people controlling what we can and cannot learn. And that is a big problem. So I just wanted to bring this up. It's absolutely ridiculous. But also, if you haven't watched Jimmy Corsetti's stuff, go to Bright Insight. His channel is absolutely fantastic.